Acts 26, verse 2. Paul said, I think myself happy. Have you been faced with situations that have brought you to a place of gloominess? Oh yes, I know you have been at that phase where you were sad. You have been at that point where it was hard for you to smile. Yeah, you've been at that point where it seems as if the whole world is crashing down on you and nothing seems to be joyful around you. Listen to the words of Paul. He said, I think myself happy. The secret is in you. The secret is in the decision and the choice that you make. Paul said, I think myself happy. Sometimes you think that your happiness is in somebody else. Oh, sometimes you think that your joy and your excitement is in your marriage. Sometimes you think that your joy and excitement is in your neighbor. Sometimes you think that your joy and excitement is in your children. Yes, all of these things are good, no doubt. Sometimes you think that your joy and excitement should come from your job. Sometimes you think that your joy and excitement should come from those people you have cared for. But let's understand something from the life of Paul. He said he thought himself happy, which means he did not wait for somebody to trigger his joy. He did not wait for somebody to make him happy. He looked at his situation and he made himself happy. It will interest you to know that at the time that Paul was thinking himself happy, he was faced with a jury. He was faced with an unfavorable situation. When you see the account in Acts 26, at that point in time, he was faced with so much controversies around his life. At the point in time, it was before the judge. It was not a time for him to be happy. Or it was not a time for him to be glad. Just imagine you are being accused of the things that you have not done. Just imagine that you were locked up, you were incarcerated for the things that you did not do. Yes, that was the position that Paul, the apostle, found himself. It was at that phase where he had no reason to be happy because of these situations that were before him. It was at that phase where he shouldn't even have any reason to smile. But he said, I think myself happy. Brother, you ought to think yourself happy. Sister, the joy that you need is inside of you, not in somebody else and not in anybody on the face of the earth. Yes, when you have one or two persons that brings you joy and happiness, man, that is beautiful. We all want that. When you have one or two persons that makes you smile, that makes you happy, yes, we want that in our lives. No doubt you want those people that would make you really, really, really have a sweat time. Yeah, no doubt. But what do you do when those people are not there? What do you do when you are faced with the kind of situation that Paul was faced with? What do you do where you are in that point where your life was being decided by somebody else? Where it was being decided right in front of you if you were going to leave or not. Yeah, Paul was faced with that situation. Yet he said, I think myself happy. It was in the situation that shouldn't bring anything that would be laughable around this life. But he said, yet I think myself happy. You have every right to be happy. You have every right to be joyful regardless of the situation. I know I'm speaking to you. I know I'm talking to you. You have every right to be happy. And that decision is inside of you. You have to make that choice that no matter the situation, I will be happy. No matter this phase of my life, I will be glad. Because when joy withers away from you, everything withers around your life. When your happiness is stolen from you, trust me, every other thing will be stolen from you. When your satisfaction and your gladness has been entrapped and has been caged either by someone or by a situation, you will discover from that moment on, you will become handicapped. You will not be able to do all that you want to do. Paul knew, the apostle knew that he had something to do. He had a task on his hand. He had souls to reach. And if he allowed himself at that point to lose joy, to lose happiness, to lose his excitement, he will not be able to accomplish what he needed to do. And so he said, I think myself happy. I'm here to encourage you and tell you, think yourself happy every day. Yes, the things around you is not warranting you to be happy. Yes, it's true. Especially the year 2020 has been that year that you have nothing so much to look towards, to look up to, seeing the news every day, seeing the things around you. But for your good, think yourself happy. So things may not have worked the way you planned them. Don't worry. Things will work out for you still. Just be happy for the meantime. Just find everything around you that brings you joy and think upon them. The Word of God says, whatever things are true, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, think of these things. Think on these things. So make up your mind this very moment that I'll be happy. No matter what has happened to me, I'll be happy. Yes, it's hard. Yes, I know it's hard. I've been there myself. So I'm telling you, it's something we need to learn from. It's something we need to understand. And for the Apostle Paul to succeed, he made up his mind to be happy. He taught himself happy, and it turned out good for him. It turned out excellent for him. So the encouragement to you today is make up your mind, make a decision to be happy. You have every right to be happy. You have every right to be happy. You have every right to be happy. So think yourself happy. Think yourself joyful. Find those things that worked in your life and rejoice over them. Find those things that brought smiles to your face and rejoice over them. Find those things that made you glad at some point in time in your life and rejoice over them. And you will discover things will begin to take shape again around your life. Things will begin to fit in the way they ought to fit in. So think yourself happy. That was one of the secrets the Apostle Paul had. He taught himself happy. Even in the place, in the situation that joy was supposed to be far from him, happiness was supposed to be far from him, the gladness of heart was supposed to be far from him, yet he taught himself happy. So think yourself happy. You have every right to be happy. So look beyond that situation and say to yourself, this too will pass. This will surely pass. And be happy. Give yourself a special treat. Eat that meal that you enjoy to eat. Just take your time to enjoy the moment that you have. And don't allow anything to steal your happiness. So remember, you have a decision to make. You have a decision to make to have your happiness in place. So have your happiness gauge on and look at it every time and say, I will be happy. And I'm sure everything is going to be well with you. Everything is going to be well with your family. Everything is going to be well with your life. God bless you.